Hello, we are two as one. I am Karen,
I'm Andres.
and here we are. We, our whole purpose with this channel, two as one, is truly to help you get to the place where you can choose to build the relationship that you deserve, the relationship of your dreams, because so many people they are in relationships whether they're hanging in there because they're afraid there's not going to be anybody else. I've been there. uh, or they most of us just haven't learned relationship skills because we were raised by our parents who didn't know what they were doing. They were raised by their parents who didn't know what they were doing. And so, after generations and generations and generations of people who didn't necessarily know what they were doing, and that's where that intergenerational trauma gets passed on from one to another, whether or not you see it as trauma or dysfunction, right? And we can truly, even if we don't eliminate it, we can certainly greatly minimize the effects of dysfunctional behavior by simply being open to learning, because most of it really are a set of skills. I am a licensed marriage and family therapist, worked with lots of people, mostly individuals, but couples as well. I've gone through part of the John and Julie Gottman training, who have done more than 40 years of research on what makes couples work. They looked at masters of relationships and disasters of relationships. And many of us have been in a variety of those relationships. And therefore, why not learn what is it that the masters do? Just like Doctors John and Julie Gottman did, they wanted to learn. Let's look at the masters and lots of things that we can take from that. And today we're going to talk about commitment because that's a big part of what makes a relationship work.
Talking about the generally what is it?
Generational.
That.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
gotcha.
some of us had to learn at the streets. My mom, she was my angel, but she never had the time to teach me or talk to me about the things, how life works out to our small tiny house. So I had to learn at the street from friends, cousins, and it was not the best source of information for sure. And that was reflected in my adult life.
Yeah, yeah, because both our moms were single moms. Yours because your dad walked out of your mom with what, four or five children.
Yep.
My dad sadly died when I was little, so that was a whole different reason. But either way, they were single moms, and yeah, again, my mom certainly didn't have good
I
skills.
read this um I don't remember where, but was about to the things that we can choose in life, right? We had not the chance to choose our parents as a kids, the place where we, the neighborhood where we grow. But something that we can choose is our partner, the person who you want to share your life. You have the freedom to do it, and that's what is important.
Yes, and boy, can we learn a lot from our partners.
Yeah.
Yes, and I so today is really about commitment. Now, with regards to commitment, I think for some people they're just not relationship oriented, or they like more situationships, and that's perfectly fine as long as the person you're having a situationship is also fine with having a situationship. And I was just thinking, yeah, I wanted to, let's just do this. let's pretend this is a line, and this is a continuum of a commitment line. So all the way over here is 100% committed, and over here is no commitment. So along the line, we have 25%, 50%, 75%, 100%. So let's say I am 25% in on this commitment. That means I am spending 75% of my time looking out here. Oh, what else is going on? Oh, even if it's just me wanting to pleasure myself and do whatever I want. I want to go hiking. I'm not going to make plans with you. I'm just going to go and do my own thing. And but you are over here on the 75% commitment. So you are spending 75% of your time looking at me and for me, and only 25% spending it on you. And how do you think that relationship is going to work?
Yeah, it's not gonna work.
Going to be a lot of frustration on both parties because the person who is 75% in, they're looking for, where are you? What's going on? Talk to me. I want to know you. I want to spend time with you. That's the quality time. I love the quality time we spend together. The other person, I cherish that time with you. Oh, so much while I'm out here all around doing my thing. And I'm not going to promise anything. I might be able to get together on this day. Maybe, maybe not, and so because I said that to you, now you have plans that is not just penciled in, it's in pen, and that's when we're going to be doing it. And now you're coming with the expectation of we're getting together in this day because that's what you said. And I was like, what are you talking about? I said that I might. I have this very important job where I'm on call, and nobody in the entire world understands when people are on call. And I'm going, well, yeah, just all the people who work in the medical field and all the people who do emergency and all these other people, we do understand what that means. Does it sound like I was in that relationship? Yeah, I'm describing a relationship I was in like that. Very frustrating, for sure. Yeah.
Very, very a lot to learn from the interaction, the communication. How much do you want to spend time with your partner, the activities that you wanna do together? It's some certain areas that you don't have access. It's my time, it's my space, and you are not allowed to be part of this because it's my time. It's you are not.
Yeah, yeah. And again, you can have that in a committed relationship. It's as long as both parties are good with it. What are you doing also when you are together? So, are you really fully in and present when you are together? And how much of that only me time is that?
I was thinking about that yesterday because I went to spend 3 good hours and then doing mountain bike. I love it. It's the connection with nature, with the adrenaline. It's.
And communing with the trees that you smack into.
I love it. It's so pretty. It makes me feel so alive.
It
And
still have marks from the last time.
it's always something going on there. But I love it. It's part of. And I was thinking the only way to me to enjoy this connection, it's been a lot because I know you don't do that. You don't like to spend that much time, and it's beautiful. I mean, I love it, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
That communication
yeah.
and some stuff that you like to do that I got bored very quick.
Yeah, with us, it's not that much. And I'll go riding on a paved path.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
we do that, well, time by time,
Yeah,
very
yeah,
often actually.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
been
but
less recently, but
it's different. The mountain bike is different.
it is. It is. But definitely not as
I
much
tried to
adrenaline.
get you on that,
You
you
did,
know.
you did. Yeah, I just prefer to have all my bones intact and not flying off the side of a mountain.
You did it very well in Georgia when we went to the.
Yeah,
Yeah, you.
some mountain up there.
Yeah, yeah, you did
Yeah.
very well. I was so impressed. You don't do it just because you don't want it.
Yeah,
But
no,
you are good.
I
I
just go a
saw.
little
Wow.
slower.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anywho, but yes. So one of the things, how can you tell? What are some of the signs? It might sound silly to have to say this, but again, when you're in a relationship, there there's always all these questions. Well, how do I know? When do I know that it's time to get out? That's always the difficult one. It's really not necessarily a any particular thing. It's like, oh, when she says this or when he does that, there is no such thing. It's more of an accumulation, and because many times there might not be real communication about these things, which we'll get to. So some of the things, here's the definition of commitment: to have a pledge or agreement to be with someone and show love, trust, and support.
Love, trust, and support. Wow.
Yeah. And there's one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight different specific things in here that are really good signs of now you are in a committed relationship.
Future planning.
Mm, yeah.
How far are we looking ahead? Just day by day, week by week. Yeah. Who knows next month? Who knows next week? Yeah, we don't need to go
Yeah,
that far.
that's
So
way too much commitment right
yeah.
there.
What about this weekend? Yeah, I don't know yet.
Yeah,
I'll let you know on Friday.
this 24 hours till the weekend. Lots of things could happen between now and
Right?
then.
Yeah, many things can.
Yeah, but when you start talking about, especially if you're younger, kids, moving in together. What are you planning on doing next year? We got to plan out if we want to make a big trip. That's something that requires a little more planning to save up and whatnot. That's now we're talking more somebody who's thinking more long range, who's seeing uh, the two of us doing things together and wanting to have something to look forward to. We're building something.
That could be a really smart way to test the water.
Mm-hmm.
You know, put the question there, and you can see the commitment
Is it?
in the relationship.
Are they panicking? Starting to get the ticks. Back, walking backwards, like oh.
Yeah,
And open communication, being open, honest, and consistent is something that, because I am committed, I am open. I don't have anything to hide. I Whatever you want to know about me, is that because that's part of where they're putting a new roof in. So every once in a while, there's a big thump, and we just keep hoping they don't come flying through the roof. So if suddenly you see a big man coming through and us flying to the side, you'll know why. But yeah, with if I really want to be with you, then I am interested in you, and I am an open book to you.
yeah. Communication is the key factor in anything.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, this one.
Active listening.
Mm.
I used to be good. I tried to sometimes I got a little bit distracted, but that was very important in the relationship.
Was, is,
It is, yeah, it
is,
is, it is,
is.
it
Yeah,
is.
every day, all day.
All day,
And
every day.
from morning to night. Um, and active listening is not just you hearing blah, 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 but I am also able to let you know what I heard you say. And I'm wanting to make sure that, did I get that right? Oh, so you were talking about this thing that happened, and how did that make you feel? What happened then? And oh, okay, so when when this driver did that, and then something happened, and then next thing you knew, you ended up in a big hole, That that was you got all wet up all the way up to your neck. This is not even a joke. That was actually something that happened.
It happened 2 weeks ago. It was
Yeah, yeah,
pretty funny.
yeah, yeah.
Be
uh,
present. Be present. It's just not being seated and pretending to listen. You are listening. No, just be present. Be respectful.
and you can always tell. You can tell when somebody's listening or not. When if they're sitting here and they have a vacant look in their eye, they're probably not listening. They're off somewhere else. The body's right here. And what I have done, and I will do, is that if I see that, I'll just stop mid sentence. And again, you'll know if they just hear you're stopping talking and then they start talking about something else, they were not listening, because if they were really were listening, they say, well, what, you were in the middle of a
Uh,
sentence, why'd you stop talking?
right.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
not really, but yeah. Reliable presence, that I can rely on you. You say you're going to be here, and then you're going to be here. You show up, you come home from work, and you take care of things around the house. It's not that it's all on me to get anything done, to make any plans, to, you're an active partner.
To me, is it's a very uh, is the foundation of the relationship. I remember a couple times that I got a flat tire in the middle of the highway early in the morning, 3, 4 in the morning, and you came. That was wow. This is it. Done deal. And when I was talking with my siblings about the why and how you show the love that you have for me and the presence, you always been there when I need it, even if it's just nothing that you can do in that time and specific, but just the fact to be there makes a huge impact in my life. And those you can think is on the small things, but to me it's big,
Yeah,
really.
and it's that part of having somebody be your rock. Because before you, I didn't feel like I had somebody who was my rock, even though my first husband, he was there. He was there. And he's a wonderful man. And there were just a lot of things that weren't emotionally, that he wasn't capable of doing, because he had his own past history that hadn't been healed. And that's where I always come back to, the therapist. And if you don't heal your emotional wounds, you can't really be there for somebody else. And that's the part where you are my rock, because you've been, and same thing for me,
Thank you.
you've been here for everything for me, and you can handle it.
This could be a little bit weird, but I really like your ex husband, and time by time we
Yeah.
share some time together, and we had a really really good time, nice talk. He spent with us Christmas, New Year's Eve. So
Yep, on the holidays, because none of us have family. We all have small. Well, you don't have a small family. They're all in Ecuador, and I have a tiny family, and they're in Denmark and England and wherever else. And uh, my ex-husband's family, the only family he has is a sister, and she moved to Utah. So we're in Florida. So I'm not gonna let him
we
sit
just
by
have each other.
himself. The Three Musketeers. Yeah, yeah,
Pretty funny.
yeah, yeah. So it's good stuff. Good stuff. So we're talking about that right now.
Yeah,
Emotional support. Yeah, being there for the other person, and sometimes it's a matter. Like you said, sometimes it's not that I can do anything about with the situation, but I can hear you and I can empathize with you, and I can cry with you. I can be mad with you, for you, all the things, and that means a lot. It's that part of, you're not in this world by yourself
that's correct. Yeah,
anymore.
that means a lot, as I said, to me, because as you mentioned, I have all my family lives in Ecuador, so I have my child and I have you. That's all that I have.
Same here. And an ex-husband.
Yeah.
You have an ex-wife too, but she, uh, yeah, that's another story. That's gonna, yeah, I don't know where that fits.
Yeah, it doesn't fit in this chapter.
Yes. So, oh, this is why, because there also has to be respectful behavior. Yes.
How you interact with others. The I was reading this book, and the writer was a beautiful, like uh, teenagers reading such a beautiful history. And one of the things that he mentioned says, watch how this person interact and treat the parents, and that's gonna tell you everything. How she or him is gonna treat you in the future.
Mm.
The interaction that you have with others.
Yes. Not always with the parent because it depends on what kind of relationship you have with your parent. Speaking from my interesting, challenging relationship with my mother, she was a good person. She was just, it's funny how I realized that I married someone who had similar qualities to my mother. And yeah, just a lot of unresolved childhood emotional wounds. And yes, so and this respectful behavior, this is one of the things I'm just thinking about one of my clients right now who's in such a disrespectful relationship, and this person keeps staying in this space because again, as many people, and I have been there myself, so where it's many times you just want to be loved and love, and the whole idea of, oh my god, now I have to go on a date again. What if there's nobody else? A lot of people think that way. There's nobody else is going to ever want me, and a lot of things like that, and then stay in a relationship that is horrendous. um, Being shushed, but just because you say good morning, like what? uh, Being criticized for things that then the person's doing themselves, and so many things, and yeah, that's not okay.
Uh, Remember, we spoke about this in previous chapter about the love and respect. They are at the same level. It's not such a thing that love without respect,
Mm.
and it's not respect without love.
Yeah, because it could also work the other way around. Once you lose respect for your partner, yeah, that's it.
Yep.
Mhm. um Shared values, that is something that is very important because this is where truly where you're making your decisions from, right? Like, for example, we have a shared value of health and being preventative. And that means, what are we buying at the grocery store? You know, us, the fact that we work out and we take care of our bodies, that we take care of our mental health, we take care of our spiritual health, and we have probably all of our values, if not most of them, are very similar. And
That maybe work in the financial world as well, where you're gonna put your
yeah.
money. Are you gonna invest in something who has a company who has values that respect life? So it works
Mhm.
in a very big spectrum
Absolutely.
on
Yep.
your
Yep.
partnership.
Are you spending money on boob jobs and get your nails done and all the things, or are
Nothing
you,
wrong with that.
nothing wrong with that? Hey, if
Yes.
that's your thing. Or are you spending money on our patches or supplements and education and things like that? It's all different. And business versus college, all the things. So,
Education,
yeah, yeah. And then
join
decision making.
decision making.
You can't read my little
Yeah, no.
hand scribbles. It's clear, very clear.
Yeah, part of the commitment and the relationship for sure is uh, making decisions together. I'm not gonna do anything just by my own, and the decision that I made is gonna impact your life as well. I mean, we are in this together. So why should I do something without to let you know just because I'm a man? It doesn't
Yeah.
make me more man or less man.
Yeah, and yeah, we're a team. So as teammates, we want to make sure that we're both on board. Obviously, not if it's a matter of um, what kind of milk are you buying at the grocery store. We're not talking about that. We're talking about if it's time to buy a car. That's a bigger purchase that's going to affect us all, over a number of years, or vacations, or those kinds of things. Lots of things.
Yeah, it
So
took me a little bit to get the concept, to share. It wasn't a big things, but just the fact to having my child this weekend or not, and don't share that with you at the beginning was a little bit difficult for me because I was thinking, oh, why should I tell you everything that I'm doing or that I'm planning to do? It's part of my independence.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, some situations that can impact, and maybe not in a major.
Yeah, and it's that thing was the part that I don't know if you really got was that it's not about me giving you permission whether or not you can see your child. It's I'm in this house too. I kind of need to know, are we going to have a little kid around that I might have to keep an eye on and make plans around, or what? Or are we planning? Can I think of something that we can do that maybe we wouldn't be doing if we have the little one, and so on.
Mhm.
So it's just out of respect. I mean, I remember growing up, and I don't know. I think I was just an old soul, but we would always. That was, of course, before you had cell phones and computers and all that stuff. But I would always write notes. My mom wasn't home because she might be out somewhere doing something, and I would write a note. I'm going to be here with my friend, and I should be home around this time or whatever. And then my mom would do the same, and so that way we would know. Okay, so I know when to expect her, where she is, and if now she's not home after a certain amount of time, then maybe I need to start worrying. Maybe I need to start calling people and figure out what's going on. Did she crash into something? That happened. My mom was legally blind and on
Yeah.
her bicycle, and it's happened that she rode into a parked car because she didn't see it because it was dark. And yeah, came home with an EMT on each arm because she told them she needed to tell me that she was going to the hospital to get stitched up before coming home. Yeah,
Yeah, that's a special circumstance. We have
that.
plenty funny stories about it, not being disrespectful at all, but
Oh yes.
for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, would if you are, what are some signs? And so those were the signs that are you are in a relationship with somebody who is thinking, I'm in this relationship, I'm committed, I am about you and I, and we're a team, I'm in it, and I want us to build a life together that we can both enjoy, that fulfills us and gives us the life of our dreams.
Yep,
It's a beautiful thing. I
it,
highly recommend it.
and it's possible.
It is. Now, the other side of the coin, if you are with somebody, what are some signs if you're with somebody who is not committed?
Oh,
Oops. All right. There went the phone on the floor. Um, what would one, two, three, four, five signs? There's probably more, but that's what we have here.
well, I can understand
That
you.
was a
Go,
test.
go for it.
Avoiding serious conversations about the future.
Yeah, let's talk about the sports.
Sports?
Yeah, that's if you want to talk about to the future, kids, a place to live, maybe something that um, implied commitment. Yeah, well, let's talk about the next game.
Win Super Bowl next, the next Super Bowl. Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Who are you rooting for?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. It may be talk in circles and yeah, making excuses to avoid spending time together. Yeah, we're back to that relationship I shared a little bit about in the beginning. Oh yeah, well I'm on call. Uh, I can't. You know, although until 2 hours by 2 hours before, then they wouldn't be able to be on call anymore because they wouldn't have time to get there. So we couldn't have plans that would say, in case you don't get on call, then we can do this. No, 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 no. That was not possible. So just an excuse. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. Very, very annoying and frustrating. Part of my lesson of learning. I eventually got there. It took a minute or and a half or three. Not prioritizing your relationships when challenges arise. And we just had a couple of episodes about infidelity. And that's a challenge.
It is.
Yeah. Just,
Could be health, financial.
mm,
It's many situations that can cause that relationship get in a very delicate situation. It depends how much commitment that you have in the relationship. If you are full, you're gonna figure out something else. But if not, you're gonna try to find the best way to go out. Yeah,
here's my excuse.
yeah,
Sneaking out the back door. Yeah. Showing disinterest in knowing your partner deeply.
yeah.
Yeah.
um, I believe it's more about the emotions, the things that yeah, I'm not sure if I want to know about that.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's too deep. It's too much for me to handle. And let's just keep it more on the surface.
Yeah, let's be in the shallow.
Yeah. 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 That's
It's safer.
safer. Too much of my emotion. I just don't have the bandwidth for that.
Yeah, I have enough with my own emotions.
Uh, well, there's a lot of people in that situation that, again, was we talked about last in the last episode that they have not been taking the garbage out. If you just keep adding up, and it's funny because I just had a massage by a wonderful massage therapist that I have here in my office. I'm lucky; I have two massage therapists here in my office, so I can get spoiled from time to time. And she was, not that I didn't know, but once again, it's just reaffirmed that she sees people because she can feel the energy in people's bodies. You know, if they're all up in their head and they're thinking about it while they're on the table and they just can't relax and they're talk, and she can. It's not just the talking, but she can feel the energy, all the buzzing going on in their head, and even all the way down in their feet. That she can feel the energy down there, and she's going, "Do you have a lot of things you have to do after this?" It's like their feet are already on their way while they're on the massage table. And she said people, when they won't let that energy flow because there'll be blockages in the body as well, that they end up with health problems.
Hmm.
And it's the same thing with a lot of people. They don't want to cry. They try to hold it in, but I'm not. It's okay to cry. You're just releasing it. Just let it out. And literally, they have tested tears. Depending on what emotion somebody is feeling when they're crying, your body releases different chemicals in
Hmm.
the tears. So think of it. And I'm not just telling other people to do. If I have to cry, I will cry. And there's tears for all emotions. Whether there's happy tears, there's sad tears, there's angry tears. And I have literally sat in a restaurant and boo-hoo cried. Everybody looking at me. I do not give a crap.
Yeah,
Because
that never happened to me.
never happened to you. You didn't cry in a restaurant.
No.
Yeah, you haven't lived until you've done that. Just put that on your bucket list.
Oh, what a loser.
Now that dang mariachi bands made me cry. That's ridiculous. What was the whole point of all that?
uh,
How we have to let our inner our emotions go. We need to let them out, or they get stuck in our body physically, that turn into ailments and aches and pains, or emotionally that we can't handle it. We got there because you were saying like, oh, my emotions are already enough. I can't handle yours as well.
Yeah, I think the point was, when you want to share your emotions, the person is trying to avoid to do that.
Yes,
Yeah, as a
exactly.
sign of the is
Exactly.
not commitment there. So
Yeah.
you better find somebody else.
Yeah, time to move on. Time to move on. And another one, this is a big one, withholding important information or being secretive. They're probably seeing other people. Not for sure, but they have a private life. That was the other thing with that person. Oh, yeah, they had a very private life. So, yeah,
There's
could
not
be anything going on.
there's not a such thing. I was watching one of serial killers and years ago, and it was really I don't know how to put this, but the wife, she didn't have access to the garage, right? Not at all. That's your limit, and that's where he had all the bodies, and the same house, but in the garage. So
Who doesn't go in the garage, for goodness sakes? Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
There's something wrong there. Now you don't know. Your partner could be a serial killer. You learn it right here. He's a former police officer, so he would know. Oh my goodness. And there you have it. Are you in a committed relationship, or are you not? Or are you the one who's not committed, or why not? And I think, just to wrap up for today, my thing has always been, just be honest, just be transparent, because when you're not, you're just making your life a lot more complicated. Be you. Don't try to be somebody else. Don't try to put yourself out to be anybody else, because you're unique. You are unique, like a little snowflake. and and somebody's going to love you. Might be a lot of people don't love you. I am certainly not everybody's cup of tea. But I'm your cup of tea, right? That's
absolutely you
right.
are.
And that's all that matters. And because when you try to put on airs like you're somebody else, people see through it. It causes problems, and people are going to be upset with you when they find out. It's just more hassle than it's worth.
Yeah, if you feel that this is not something that you are commitment to do it, just be honest and then move on and let the other person move on as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. Let them know that you are just about a situationship, if that's what you want. And then you have given the other person the freedom and opportunity to choose.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. And then, hey, if they start having problems, well, then that's on them, because you told them right from the get go that this is a situationship. And of course, things can change and develop over time, and then you renegotiate. So, because things do change over time,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes a situationship becomes a serious relationship. And sometimes a serious relationship becomes a divorce.
Yep.
Hmm. Yes. And just to wrap up, because you put yourself out to be the bad guy in the previous episode, I just want to say that after learning more, that that was definitely the other partner who was not committed in that marriage. So, but you were both very young,
Yeah.
and I think that also definitely had a big role in it as well.
Yeah, we got married at the 20 years old. She was younger than me. So yeah, we
Yeah.
make bad decisions.
Yeah, and some people keep on making bad decisions and more drama, and we're not about that. So a lot of extra stress. So without that further ado, let us know your thoughts. Have you been in either one of those relationships? What have been some of your experiences? And share, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I have a book that can help you start working through some of your things that you've been through, called Achieving Peace, Purpose, and Prosperity, right here. I am also putting together a 6 week mindset challenge. Yeah, mindset challenge. That
Course. Yep.
that will be coming out soon. And with that, go out and shine your beautiful inner light.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.